Spend some time alone. Understand that soon you'll run with better men alone again. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Chamber of Reflection by Mac DeMarco. This one was a request. I'll show you the chords and of course that awesome instrumental melody. I'll even show you how to do that groovy bass line with the left hand if you want to throw that in. So no matter what your current skill level, this video will help you play a great sounding cover. Let's just get into it. All right, so let's start out with the chords that you need to play the verses and the chorus. And I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. So here's the chord progression for the verse. For the first chord, G sharp minor 7, it's gonna look like this. So the right hand is playing a B, a D sharp, and an F sharp, and then the left hand is playing a G sharp. And notice I'm just using 1, 3, 5 for the fingers in my right hand and the left hand 5th finger, pinky, on that G sharp. The next chord, it says A sharp minor here. There's a note on the chords and lyrics chart that A sharp minor equals A sharp minor add minor second, because this is the chord you hear on the Mac DeMarco recording. So a regular A sharp minor would look like this, and we're gonna add that dissonant note there. So that's A sharp in the left hand, we just stepped up to the 4th finger. In the right hand, it's a B, a C sharp, and an F. Now, that is a weird sounding chord. It's got this dissonant half step in it. It is like that on the Mac DeMarco recording. There's something about his recording that's kind of warbly and weird, and it just really works. If you find when it's just you and piano that chord sounds too dissonant to your ears, you could totally just play a regular A sharp minor chord, and that would just be with the A sharp at the bottom, then the C sharp and the F. I'm gonna do it that way though. I think it sounds pretty cool. And then the next chord is a B major 7 chord. So we're stepping up to the B here with our 3rd finger, and then we've got A sharp, D sharp, and F sharp here in the right hand. And that lasts for 2 measures. Speaking of the measures, we're in 4/4 time, kind of counting a fast 4/4 time. You can base it off the hi-hat that's on the recording. So we're thinking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So twice as long on the B major 7. Then the second time around, it's the exact same thing, exact same pacing. G sharp minor 7, A sharp minor with that added minor second, and then we land on a D sharp minor 7. So different chord at the end for that line. Our thumb is gonna come down here on the D sharp, and then basically we're gonna play with our right hand what we did for the B major 7, but we're also gonna add this C sharp. So nice kind of symmetrical shape there for the right hand. So a great way to cover this song would just be to play and hold all these chords while you sing it. Would sound like this. Spend some time away, getting ready for the day you're born again. So I'm just holding the chords the last 2 measures. I'm not hitting it again on the second measure. And the full verse does that whole chord progression around again with different words. Spend some time alone. Understand that soon you'll run with better men alone again. So then we're at the chorus. Now, the chorus, if you know the verse, the chorus is really easy. It's the exact same thing as the second line of the verse. So just every time you do the chorus line, you end with that D sharp minor 7. Alone again, alone again, alone again, alone. And that's all there is to it for these chords. Now, we're gonna spice it up a bit with the bass line if you want, or you could just keep it simple like this. But first, let's get into the main right hand melody and hook. I have a feeling a lot of you are here on this video because you wanna learn to play that. So let's check that out. It's gonna sound like this. So let's put the left hand to the side for a second, but you'll notice that I was just playing the same, sort of outlining the same bass line we did when we were playing the verse. It's just the changes from the verse. So right hand notes, and I have these all written down on that chords and lyrics chart, but I'll just kind of step through them. We can talk about the fingering as well, which will make or break how easy it is to play it smoothly. But we're gonna start on this F sharp with our pinky. I'm gonna come down, third finger on D sharp, thumb on A sharp, then move to the third finger on the B, A sharp, G. Those ones happen kind of fast. So far we've got, so one more tricky little move of the third finger here for these next few notes. We're gonna put our third finger on this A sharp, step up to B, C sharp, A sharp, F. So that kind of, putting our third finger there helped us move our hand down to there. One more time on all that. Move my third finger here. Love that note. That F is really cool sounding. And then finally we do another F, F sharp, F, D sharp. So that happens pretty fast. Ba, da, da, da. Crossing my third finger over for one last time to put it in position for the last few notes. C sharp, D sharp, A sharp. The A sharp's in parentheses because every other time you don't actually play it. So one more time, I'm going to play through all that, and I'll do the counting as well in a second. So F sharp, D sharp, A sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, A sharp, F, F, F sharp, F, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, A sharp. Okay, and the timing with that, so we're thinking that 1, 2, 3, 4. We also need to be thinking in eighth notes about dividing the beat in half. So not just 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And there's actually some 16th notes as well, but mostly on the counts and the ands in between, it's going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts in the middle of the measure. That means that you're going to start with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can kind of see where those left hand notes connect. So it starts on this G sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when you hit this A sharp, that's when you step up in the left hand. And then in between, you step up to there. Just hold that B, then around again for the left hand. Step up while you're holding that. And then it comes together doing a D sharp on both hands. And back down. I'm going to play the whole instrumental section one more time here. Just notice that the second time around, I do not go to the A sharp. I just hold the D sharp. Cool. All right, so now you know everything you need to know to do a full cover of it. For the rest of the video, I'm going to focus on the left hand bass stuff because there's a really cool bass line happening on the recording. Adding these rhythms in the left hand definitely make it a lot trickier to play and sing though. So if it's too hard for you, don't worry about it. Don't let it overwhelm you. But if you want to dive into that left hand bass line, let's do that now. So here's what it's going to sound like. Cool. So for the first few chords, you do the same rhythm, and it's 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4. So in each of those measures, you're doing eighth notes, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and and that and at the end of the measure kind of leads into the next note. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now, for the second measure of the B major 7, that's where this really crazy thing happens. And the timing on that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the hardest part of this bass line by far. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, so the whole first line, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I didn't mention the notes, but we were stepping up. We end up with our third finger on this B. Because we need to jump an octave for that cool part, I'm going to hop my hand then to my pinky here, do 5, 1 on, so that's just up an octave on a higher B. And then second finger comes down on that F sharp. Then for the second line, it starts the same. 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4. And then this rhythm is kind of similar to what we did on the B, but it's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and on that 3 and we go from the D sharp to the C sharp. So you kind of just wait a little bit after you do the first measure of the D sharp minor 7. So when you add in the right hand chords, the verse is going to sound like this. Just notice that I'm playing an octave lower than I was when we were just holding the bass notes. And another option you could do, as I mentioned, what happens on the B is by far the hardest part. You could just skip that and just do and just kind of continue that rhythm. Maybe even for this one, just to keep it consistent. That might be a little bit easier to learn. While we're getting into the details and developing the sound here, for the chorus, I am going to take my right hand up an octave. This kind of higher synth comes in there. And I'm going to do some octaves in the left hand for the main part of the bass line, just to give it a little bit more power, make the chorus sound bigger. And then let's just quickly run through how the rhythms are going to feel when you add that bass line to the instrumental part. It's going to sound like this. That's really the part that we should look at. So when you get up to the C sharp, that's when and you do the don't. Low octave, high octave, the next low octave lines up there on the A sharp right before you get to the F, and the F and the high B there line up, and finally that F sharp is kind of by itself. So this was tricky for me. I had to practice this a little bit. So I would just zoom in on that moment and loop it a few times to get the hang of it. Okay, the final thing I want to say is just about the structure at the end of the song. The last chorus is twice as long. I just put a ×2 on the chorus on the sheet, and then it ends with the instrumental. On the Mac DeMarco recording, it just repeats around and fades out. That's hard to do for a solo piano version. So I think I'm just going to do 2 runs through the instrumental and then kind of just end on a D sharp. Probably just a single note D sharp. I think that sounds pretty cool. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I'm now going to play a complete cover so you can see how all these parts fit together. I'm mostly going to be playing kind of the most advanced version with the full bass line that we talked about, but just at first I will also demonstrate the easier versions as well. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe to my channel. I might have some other tutorial songs that you're interested. Take a peek around. Click the bell when you subscribe so you know when I put out more videos like this. And leave a comment. Let me know what song you want to hear next. As I said, this one was a request. I've been a Mac DeMarco fan for a while, but I thought to do this song because someone put it in the comments. So anyway, here's my version of Chamber of Reflection. the day you're born again. Spend some time alone. Understand that soon you'll run with better men. Alone again. Alone again. Alone again. Alone again. Alone. No use looking out. It's within that brings the lonely feeling. Understand that when you leave here, you'll be clear among the better men. Alone again. Alone again. Alone again, alone again, alone again, alone again, alone again, alone again, alone.